Hi Cancer, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. Hope you guys have a good holiday season and new year. This is your January 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, swords with me and from us, to count the cross spread as always, and also hold the 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off on our own knowledge astrology. I swam in front of us to get an idea of where folks should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have 10, and 10th house energy for you guys is Aries. Astrologically speaking, we have Chiron there. The North Node's wrapping up its transit through there as well. Should be moving out of there around the 11th or 12th or so, I believe, in January. And 10th house in general points to career and social status. Alright, we have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in Taurus. It's still retrograde. I think it's going to wrap up the retrograde right at the very end of January. And Taurus for you guys is your 11th house of friendships, hopes, and wishes. So there could be some sudden shifts in that area. And we have Leo. So Leo for you guys is actually your 2nd house of possession, self-worth, and finances. And of course, when we move into Aquarius season, we'll actually have a full moon in Leo in February. So not really much else going on there right now, but at the very least, maybe you'll start to feel that energy a little early. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 8 of Swords, Gemini energy, and challenging that, we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. So yeah, this could just be saying that for some of you might have felt like you couldn't communicate clearly, possibly because you might have felt that when you did communicate in the past, it might have backfired. And for some of you, it could just be as simple as the fact that we pretty much just wrapped up a Mercury retrograde. So it could be as minor as that, but for some of you, maybe it's a little bit something deeper too, where maybe you have a little bit of anxiety around communication for some reason. And given that we did have that full moon in Gemini recently in your 12th house, that could have been pretty intense as well. And then we still have Jupiter retrograde there, so that could have been bringing some of this energy to the forefront for you as well. But it looks like you're being called to look at that a little bit deeper this month. In the foundation position, we have the Emperor. So for some of you, maybe this is at least pointing to the root of why that might be the case, right? So for example, let's say if this is in the workplace, maybe you have a boss that's very strict and, they're very rigid. So you might feel like when you communicate to them, they might be a little bit harsh when they communicate back with you. That's one way it could be playing out. Some of you, this could even just be saying from your early upbringing, maybe there were some issues when you would communicate and maybe had someone who was very harsh with their communication, so that could have caused you to withdraw a little bit in that area. But yeah, for some of you, this could just be saying in general, maybe you're walking on eggshells within your work environment too. All right, past energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is actually Jupiter energy here, which, as we said, is in your 12th house currently. But it could just be saying that for some of you, maybe this was something that you were meant to look at, and now it could just be saying that as long as you do actually look at that and get to the root of it, you'll be able to free yourself from that energy. All right, in the present position, we have the Magician. So yeah, so to me, this is another indicator that says that, you should at least have some more self-confidence as far as being able to overcome this obstacle. Looks like it's saying that you have all the tools at your disposal to do so. All right, in the near future position, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, so to me, this says you're still very withdrawn, right? You're still holding back a lot in a lot of areas. And for some of you, this could play out in a more positive sense, meaning that, if you're really just, let's say, if you're giving a lot of thought to where you invest your time, your energy, your resources, then that would be a more positive way. But for others of you, it could still be rooted in this situation from the past where you might have felt like you weren't received correctly. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, so to me, this says that ultimately you are actually making improvement. So even if you don't necessarily feel that, on the surface level, it looks like this is saying that as you're just going through your day-to-day task, you're actually improving on the situation. So given that this is Virgo energy, which does represent your house communication as well, if this is rooted in communication in some way, that to me, that definitely is another indicator that says that you're actually improving on that day-to-day. All right. In the environment position, we have Temperance. So this is the major arcana card for Sagittarius. So yeah, so it could just be saying that as we've been progressing through Sagittarius season, maybe just the energies at play have actually helped you restore that balance to where you can feel more confident with your communication, where you do come across more clearly now. And like I said, for some of you might not feel it already, but I feel like at the very least in January, you'll see some evidence of that. All right. And the hopes or fears position, we have the King of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. Now, for some of you, this could possibly be a hope, right? Where, like we said, especially if this situation was all rooted in communication in some way, right? This is you hoping to show up and advocate for yourself more strongly, right? To come across more clearly with your communication. So that's what I see with that. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, so to me this says that you're getting closer to your goal, right? I mean, we see the growth, we see the 4, we see the 8, and now the Page in the outcome. So it looks like you're making steady progress. And again, like I said, maybe for some of you, at least in the present moment, you might not necessarily be feeling like you are. You know, you could still lack that confidence a little bit. But I feel like you'll see some outward evidence showing that you are actually making progress. All right. And bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Wands. So yes, like I said, for some of you, this could be something that's happened to you often, right? So to where you might have felt like, okay, this is just a reality, right? So you might have lost faith for a little while that you could change anything about it. But again, looks like the timing's right for you to do so. All right, from the 4 agreements deck, we have always do your best. And it says take your life and enjoy it. Right? It says you are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, and to share your love. Just to take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. So yeah, especially that part where it says to take a risk and enjoy your life, right? So especially if this is where maybe you've been restricting yourself in some way, right? It could just be encouraging you to maybe step out of your comfort zone in that regard if you really do feel like that restriction is doing more harm than good at this point. All right, from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Orphaned. There's the artwork, and the number is 5. Let's see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says a sense of loss and identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. The Oracle's message: you are all meant to have connections with other people within our families, societies, and larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, right? Because if this is some kind of growth cycle that you've been going through, right, maybe that's also an extension of that, right? That as you go through that growth cycle, you might outgrow some people within your environment as well. And you could be called to step into some new environments in that regard. All right, the relationship message says as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you, and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, especially given that we will be moving through Capricorn season, of course, which is actually your house of relationships. So sounds like a good time to visit that theme as well. And the prosperity message says this card reminds you that you can't be all things to all people. You are not going to be popular with everyone, and that has to be okay with you. Be clear about your mission, your brand, your work persona, and your contribution to the world, as these must be based on what you authentically have to offer, not something you think will sell or you perceive they may want. You will attract abundance by being completely yourself. Stay in your own lane. That's where you will shine and where you'll experience prosperity. So yeah, again, another positive message there, and that makes me think of the magician energy, right? Where I said it looks like you have all the tools at your disposal to get the forward movement that you seek. And like I said, for a lot of you, it looks like you will be making noticeable progress this month, even if you don't necessarily feel like that's going to be the case just yet, given that we do see the Eight of Swords in the main situation. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. Hope you, again, enjoy your holiday season and New Year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.